guys. Good morning. It's Jessie with Lost Marbles Farm. I'm going to do a quick garden video tour before things get crazy because the vegetables are really starting to come in strong and I'm not going to have time to do many videos after that. Anyway, so it's not perfect. It never is. There's still weeds in here on places that we didn't get mulched. There's a ton of work, but it is what it is. It's a continual thing. This is my little space. It's kind of squared off with fencing. I usually save this for my fall gardening where I grow lettuces, cabbages, kale, things like that. So in the summer I usually just put my peppers and eggplants, things that I don't have a huge amount of. These are my eggplants. They're getting really big. This material here, that's my row cover. I put that over for frost protection or protection against bugs. So I keep these covered until they start blooming and need to be, the bees need to pollinate the flowers. And the reason why is because the flea beetles, which you can see the tiny holes that flea beetles leave, will tear up eggplant. They are obsessed with eggplant. Then I have I cannot remember the variety, but my sister knows. She gave me this new variety of a tomato, and they grow some really cool tomatoes. I'll show you what they look like. I can't get to it. That's what it looks like. Little baby ones up here. So I'm kind of interested to see what they taste like. And maybe my sister will comment below and tell you what variety it is. Over here, climbing up on the chicken pen, I have some loofahs, which I like to use those sponges on a loofah. Then I've got some lemon cucumbers that I got from our school. Then they had the FFA sale. Some peppers going on here. All of these were started from seed. Do not ask me what variety. I labeled them, and the labels, even though they were written with a Sharpie, were off. So now I'm going to have to wait till I get the peppers to know what kind of pepper it is. Oh man, it seems like that happens every year. I need to just spend the money and get some really nice things to label with. Then there's another pepper. I do know that that's an Ozark Giant, I believe. Okay. These are herbs. This is Ella Campaign. I started that with the seed. There's another one right there. I've got some more planted in other places to see where they do best. That's kind of like an experiment. These are some other tomatoes that I got from the FFA sale, plant sale. I think they're Better Boys or something. I mean, they're coming on slowly. There's not a whole lot of blooms on it, but they're coming along just fine. Let's see. Some lemon basil here. And just some leftover kale. I've been feeding that to the rabbits and the goats because it gets bitter as the weather gets warm. Okay, coming in the main gate, I've got some zinnias planted in here. I can't wait for them to start blooming. We have some zucchini and squash. Let's see here. Over here is a carbon black. It's either a carbon black or a Cherokee purple. I honestly cannot tell you for sure. I've been growing them from seed for many, many years, saving the seeds every year. They are very prolific. I just love these tomatoes. Just a really nice tomato to grow. And they're doing very well. If you ever want any seeds, just let me know. I always save my seeds. These are some cow peas. That Sam has planted, and I cannot remember the variety. Sam, why don't you comment below on the video and let us know what variety they are. Some kind of peas, but they're doing very well. They started off looking really hideous and pathetic, but then they pulled through. There are carrots planted here. This row needs to be severely weeded. In fact, that's what the little kids, Nolan, Ellis, and Mary, are going to be doing today, because it's perfect for little bitty tiny kid hands to get all those little tiny weeds along there. And then this starts our first row of tomatoes. These are a paste tomato because it's better to use the paste tomatoes to make sauces. And and we have about 45 plants, I think, somewhere around there, around 40 plants, maybe 42. All of these plants were started from seed. We started them in our little tiny house. And don't give me the excuse that you don't have room to start seeds, because there's 7 of us in 700 square feet and we grew 45 tomato plants. So anyway, this is a sunflower, obviously. Sunflowers here. Why do I plant sunflowers? Because they make me happy and they make the birds happy. So I've got those. Down here, Sam has some kind of crazy pepper planted. I don't even want to touch it. Like, if there's a bug on it, I'm not even going to kill it because I'm scared of it. I'm afraid my hand will burn off. That's how hot it is. It's the Carolina Reaper. So that's Sam's. I'm going to just leave it there. The reason why he stuck it on this corner is because he doesn't want it to mix with the other pepper plants to make the other peppers hot. Okay, there's our 2 rows of okra. Yep, look at all those weeds. We got to get out here and weed that today. Everywhere that we didn't have time to cardboard mulch, we throw down plastic to keep the weeds back. I know you can buy that really nice, expensive weed barrier stuff, but it's expensive and we're using black plastic. So anyway, this is our Alabama red okra, and we are growing the Clemson spineless okra here because we're going to do an experiment to see if they possibly may cross. So that's an experiment right there. We'll be saving the seeds from it. Of course, there's our tomatoes. This is a few of these smaller plants are spoon gourds. The kids wanted to grow some to do crafts with. I love spoon gourds. They're so pretty. These are some kind of other gourd, but I can't remember what. This is horrible. I'm not just embarrassed at the fact that I don't know the varieties. I can't remember. I should have written it down, and that is your tip of the day. Write down what you grow. Do not think that you'll remember, because you will not. So we will find out exactly what type of gourd this is. I don't know if it's a birdhouse gourd or a snake gourd. I mean, I have all of those different varieties. I just can't remember. So that's a mystery. Then starting here all the way over are Chicago pickling cucumbers. They're super cute and they're delicious and they're super easy to pickle. And I will share our pickling recipe with you because it is foolproof and super easy and delicious and crisp. I promise you'll love them. Our kids just inhaled them, so I've got a lot. I'm going to double the amount of pickles we do because they loved them so much. All right, and here are Rattlesnake green beans. They are coming on strong, like overnight strong. Very, very prolific, super resistant to drought. I highly, highly recommend. They're a great green bean. Look at that. What do you think you're doing? Nope. That is a Japanese beetle. Anyway, they're beautiful green beans. They're coming on strong. Let's see, what else do we have? We always grow a ton of green beans because they're that vegetable that goes with everything, and the kids love them. Over here we have some red noodle beans. They're really long. They get about 2 feet long almost. They're not good to pickle. I mean, they're not good to can, but they're very good stir-fried. So we always grow a few of those. They always look pathetic to me. I don't know why, but it takes a lot longer for them to grow than the regular beans. These were all planted at the same time, and see how small they are. This little plant was a volunteer from last year. It was a purple potato. Sam was going to pull it up, but I begged him to leave it here just because I wanted a few purple potatoes. We did not grow potatoes this year, so that's one of our few. Oh, this tomato here is another variety that I've been growing for years. It is called Hillbilly. It's the Hillbilly. I think it's just called Hillbilly tomato. But it is a yellow, and it has a little bit of a red on it as well. but they're real good. And more weeds, more weeds. See where I stopped mulching the raspberries, and look, that's what happens when you don't mulch. This is our asparagus row. It's still, you know, getting thicker all the time. Every year it's multiplying. We don't get a huge ton of asparagus on it. I wish I had 3 times this many rows, because I think it takes like 6 plants per person really to have a decent amount of asparagus. If you want to grow asparagus, plant it now, because it takes years before you can really get a good harvest off of it. And of course, here's our raspberries. They multiply, so hopefully next year I'm going to have plants for sale. I was going to do it this year, but we had too much going on. But we have a greenhouse that we haven't set up yet, so I'm going to hope to get some together in the greenhouse ready to go for next spring if you're interested. I love these raspberries. They've done very, very well. Very prolific. They have already started getting ripe, and they pretty much are producing till fall. So I'm very, very pleased with this variety. And then look at this. The only thing is, these love them. So you have to come out here and murder every morning if you want to have any food. There's another one. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what takes up all my time. And I'm not putting poison on my plant, so don't tell me that 7 Dust works, because I ain't using it. All right, so that completes this garden area. And then same thing with my berries. We are gonna put together a bunch of berry plants next year. I have variety, and look at all those weeds. We gotta get in here. We got a lot of work to do today. I have thorned variety and thornless, 2 different thornless varieties. The reason why I plant thorned along with the thornless is because what I have read is that if you have both of them growing together, it makes the thorned makes the thornless more prolific. I don't like the thorned, but hey, if they make my thornless more prolific, I'll deal with them. So, but the thorned berries do put out really good. I mean, look at that. Look how big. That's like 10 wild berries. That's how big it is. I mean, that's huge. So, I used to pick wild berries all the time, but it would take forever to get a good amount because they're so tiny. But they're doing really, really well. I'm super excited about this year's berry picking. So, we will have, this is some of that, my thornless variety. I love the thornless. We've already harvested all the garlic, so it's gone, but we are going to cover up the area where the garlic grew and throw some more sand in there. We have found, you know, Tennessee soil is so full of clay, and it just doesn't have enough grit in there, so it's really worth your while to buy bags of sand and add it to your soil, and the garlic really thrive in there. It keeps it from getting too clumpy, and it drains better. So we added peat moss, compost, and sand to our garlic patch when we were planting it in November, and then we're fixing to, now that we've harvested it, we're going to compost again and add, I'm sorry, this rooster will not be quiet. He's trying to compete with me, I think. But we're going to add sand, more sand as well, cover the area, and then in November we will plant again. So if you like garlic, be thinking about what variety you want to grow now, because if you don't buy it now, it sells out really, really quick. In fact, most places may already be sold out of the popular varieties, and they will ship them to you around your planting time. So you should expect to get them around October. And then, of course, you want to plant them in November. So anyway, that's a quick garden tour. And if you have any questions or comments, just let us know. And I hope you have a wonderful day.